Hey there, this is Elizabeth, the teaching artist for the Timken Museum of Art with another art tutorial for you. Today we're going to have some fun with comics. Comics are a great way to draw people without having to worry about being too realistic. They are also a great platform for conversations or self-expression through characters. I'm going to take you through a step-by-step process for drawing both a male and female character, like the two you see here. However, your characters may look different from mine, and you may decide to add different details, which I encourage. This tutorial is meant to be a guide, not something you try and copy exactly. Before we can begin, I need to go through the art materials with you. Very simple today, just colored pencils, paper, and a pencil with an eraser. Okay, let's get started. Please orient your paper to be horizontal or landscape. Then draw an upside down egg with a center curved axis going down vertically. And then I want you to draw the 3 horizontal curved lines to indicate where the eyes will go, the bottom of the nose, and the opening of the mouth. Next, we're going to go for the eyes first. I want you to use this line to be the bottom of the eye, and I want you to draw 2 almond shapes. The one on the left is going to be bigger than the one on the right. Inside each of those, I want you to draw an oval, which will be the eyeball, or more precisely, the iris. After that, you're going to draw these really high eyebrows, just little curved lines above the eyes. And then the nose. The nose is going to be a little bit upturned. Please notice that it's just that little bump coming off of the center axis and then a little dot off to the side. Then I moved down to the mouth. I retraced the opening of the mouth just slightly, and I drew the upper lip, which is an M shape. And then for the bottom lip, all I did was shade a little bit underneath where the bottom lip will go. After the bottom lip, go for the neck, make it narrow because she is a female. And now I'm tracing over the upper eyelid and adding a couple of eyelashes. Notice, I don't put a bunch of eyelashes, just a couple to indicate that she is female and has eyelashes. I colored in the eyes. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the entire hair shape. I'm not going to draw individual strands of hair, but instead, go for the whole shape that the hair creates. And it's going to go above the head a little bit and out to the sides a little bit because hair has volume. So please try to mimic or do something similar to what I've got started here for the hair. And remember, we're not going to be worried about individual hairs right now. We're just going to be blocking in big shapes of hair first. I'm also using the eraser right now to make some corrections. I'm purposefully showing you this so that you realize that the first marks you make will probably change. Nobody's drawing starts off exactly as they think in the beginning. It goes through lots of transformations throughout. For example, I redrew that ear a couple of times. All you need to create is a little half moon shape for that ear, and we're going to hang an earring off of it later. Now what I'm doing is I'm just erasing away marks I don't need and starting to darken areas such as the eyebrows, the bridge of the nose, the upper lip will be shadowed, and underneath the lower lip will be shadowed a little bit more. I'm refining the lines. I'm correcting the left line for the neck, and then I'm coming up to the upper eyelid, coloring that in a little darker, adding the little crease at the top of the eyelid, adding a little darkness on the lower lid, as well as the eyelashes. Now I'm going to go for more details. For example, I'm adding earrings. That's something you can add if you want to. You can change the design of the earrings if you so desire. Next, we need to put some clothes on her. So we're going to create an elliptical shape that goes around the neck because the neck will be coming out of the dress that she's wearing. And then I'm using these diagonal curves to create the illusion of shoulders. So at this stage, what you're doing is you're going through and you're adding more value, meaning more shading and more detail. Go ahead and remember to add some shading in between her neck and the opening of her dress, as well as adding shading on the dress itself and refining any lines that need cleaning up. Next, we're going to pause on her and move to the male figure. Just like the female character, we're going to start with the head, but since it's a male head, this time we want to use a boxier oval shape. I also made sure to make the head in proportion to the female, so it's not too big or too small in comparison. And then I drew that center axis and then the 3 lines that indicate the eyes, the lower part of the nose, and the mouth. Okay, now we're going to go for the eyes. They're going to be smaller than the females and a little more square. The bottom of the eye is going to line up with that curved line we drew. Now we're going for the nose. We come off that center line and create that little bump again, and then just a slight detail for that nostril on the right. Now we go for the mouth, where we draw the upper lip just like we did with the female, except it's more square and smaller, and we shade it in. And then you shade in underneath the lower lip. Don't draw anything for the lower lip. All right, moving back up to the eye, you're going to use circles for the colored part of the eye. I'm going to erase and redraw my eye on the right because it was too small. That happens, so you may end up having to do the same thing in different parts of this picture. Then I want you to draw 2 pupils, so just put dots right in the center. And then to the right, I want you to draw circles. Those are highlights, so to the right of the pupil. Then you're going to shade in underneath the eyelid and slightly underneath the highlight. And again, you're going to see me erase because I put too much pencil down. So I got to come back and do it again. Draw the pupil, draw the little highlight, and shade. Now I'm adding the eyebrows for the male. They're going to be more straight and closer to the eye. And now I'm going for the hair shape. Remember, the hair shape will come off the head. It's not going to follow along the edges of the head because hair has volume. So we create this shape, and off to the right, I create the ear at the same time as I create the hairline because it helps to indicate the top part of the ear. Now I'm going for the neck. It's going to be wider than the female. And then I'm going to add the shirt. I use an ellipse around the neck so that it looks like the neck is coming out. And then the collar are kind of a blend between trapezoids and triangles. I need you to follow my shapes in this video because there's not a great way for me to describe exactly the shapes you need to draw. Now I'm coming in and doing some refining, meaning erasing away unneeded lines. I'm going to darken in areas that can get more detailed. I'm going to finish out filling in shadowing for the hair and the neck. And from now on, it's all about refining, cleaning up and refining and adding shadows. The eraser is a great tool for pulling off highlights in the hair. So you fill it in with the pencil and then you come back with the eraser and pull off highlights like you see on the male character. I'm also adding a little bit of darkness inside the mouth because he's going to be speaking soon. And so I need to have it feel like an opening of the mouth. I'm adding shadowing in the shirt so it gets it a little bit more of a 3-dimensional quality. Adding shadowing in the face using my finger. And now I've zeroed in on the ear. Just keep it really simple and abstract. Just kind of hint at the ear hole and the top of the ear. Moving over to the female character, I'm going to darken and detail. So I'm darkening around the colored part of the eyes and the eyelashes, into the hair, into the neck, and into the neck coming out of her dress. And then the dress itself will get darker. Going for little details with the earrings. Now we're going to go ahead and give him something to say. He's going to tell her how much he misses her. And last but not least, you're going to add color. Add the color however you see fit. I went ahead and made her a redhead, really bright red hair. I made him a little darker, make him a little sultry. Now I'm going back in and detailing out the eyes a little bit, making it darker in the pupil and then the upper eyelid to give it a little dimension. Make sure that highlight stays nice and light. You can use the eraser for highlights. And then just have fun with the color. There's no wrong way to create a cartoon character. One piece of advice with the colored pencils is to layer them. Get the color nice and saturated. It'll make for a more dynamic artwork. You've done it. You've finished another one of our art tutorials. Thank you so much for taking the time to be creative today, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Please share with us what you've made.